Welcome everyone, my name is Paula Phillips, also known as JournalArtista, and today I thought that, I know in the last practice stream I did, I showed the magazine that I tried the Citrasolv technique on. I bought this Citrasolv as a Canadian. I couldn't find it anywhere, and the wonderful Karen Ellis over at the Art House Studio had some when I was there, when I was at a Dinah Wakely class, so I was very excited. And I tried it the other day. This is from a National Geographic from 1986, and that didn't go well. Well, I mean, some of it worked. Other spots it just absorbed into the paper and really didn't do much of anything. So I lie. Some of it did work, but not every page. So I need to figure out what am I doing wrong. Maybe it's a magazine or whatnot. So I picked out a different one from 1995, and I also bought a brand new one today. I bought the Rome's Bad Boy. So it was a double thing because I really wanted to read about what National Geographic says about the paleo diet, because that seems to be so popular. Well, it doesn't seem to be. I've read a lot about the paleo diet, as part of the personal trainer stuff. So anyways, I'm going to try a brand new one and one from the 90s. I do have some from the 70s, so we'll see how it goes. Hey, Jen. Trying to sneak into their stream. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do filler stuff in between because it does take a little time, I think, for this stuff to activate. I'm also gonna try. I have a whole bunch of stencils here. I'm gonna try to do some rubbing off techniques. Put the stencil down, use Citrasolv to rub off, as well as just sticking the stencil onto the page and letting it dry like that. So see how it goes. So Citrasolv is good. Well, it's good for the environment. Well, it's not bad for the environment. Let me say that. But it could be, it's combustible, so you gotta be careful. Number one, speaking of being careful, I really wanted to watch the Tim Holtz video on the distress stain sprays, excuse me. But they were at the factory and he's reaching into a machine that's running, and I had to turn it off. So I don't know if the whole video is like that, but I couldn't watch it. As an old safety manager, I was just having like, oh my goodness, what's going on? Anyway, it's sold in health food stores, but not all of them. Simon went downtown and got one, but they didn't have the concentrated. They only had the spray. And the spray is not, you have to use the concentrated stuff apparently. So, okay. So it's going to get messy. Be prepared. Some people do this outside. I just put a little a hole. Probably can't see that. There's some ink on there from the last magazine. But it's just a tiny hole. 1/16 or 30 seconds of an inch or something, Yeah, I think I didn't do enough on it last time. So let's see. There's a bunch of different videos. We talked last time about Gary Reef over at Capricorn Artist 73. The one I watched was the Cheap Joes. Millie Andy was one of the ones originally that I saw many years ago. She was using like this. It was this like cotton fluffy stuff. So I'm holding my finger like I'm halfway over that little hole, sprinkling it on. Sorry. So I'm just going to try to do this fast and see what happens. May work, may not. But before I coat this whole book, right? Like last time I coated the whole book and realized it didn't work. This time I'm not going to do that. This time I'm going to do some test spots. And then I just put a stencil in there. I'm going to do some test pages. I'll do one in here. See if it works and then come back to it. Because I think I wasted so much of it on the other one. I wasted so much of it on the other one. Hey, Charlie. I put mine in the sprayer, and you really have to soak the pages. So you've done this before, Jonna? There goes Bella's barking again. Oh boy, oh boy. So I'm gonna put that off to the side for a second, and we'll go back. This stuff is greasy, oily type, you know, oilish, greasy-ish. This is bad news. Like from what I'm streaming right now, I can't tell how many people are in the room, who's doing what. I feel lost. I'm just taking a baby wipe to my fingers because it's really, really sticky. I'm not hoarding the Citrasolv. If it works, I'm going to douse that whole book. I just don't want to try it, you know, put it on all the pages and have it not work. Oh, look how gorgeous that scene is. I'm going to put Citrasolv on that. There's a map of America's wilderness. Oh, look how gorgeous that picture is. Oh, there's the paleo diet. So I want to save that because I want to read about it. Well, you know what we can do? I'll rip out, or who, I don't need to see, at the Vista Club near Opium Hill. I don't know what the heck that is. So I'm just going to rip those 2 pages out from the, like I said, this is the current issue, September 2014. So let's see. This time I'm going to take a stencil, and let's take a real big one. Thanks, Carrie. I know it's dinner time for lots of people. All right. There's a, let's see. I'm going to use a dried baby wipe, I think, rather than a paper towel. You can go on their website, Citrasolv. It's made citrasolv.com. Citrasolv.com. No E. Okay, so I just put some on my baby wipe that already had paint on it. Maybe that's not a good idea, but who knows. And this is a Julie Faye Van Balzer stencil. Is it working at all? Oh boy, it's gonna shake my camera. It's working. Yeah, exactly. Jonna, I said that before. I should have said that before I started streaming. One of the girl from Cheap Joe's, and I should have wrote down her name so I could credit her. If you go to Cheap Joe's, on YouTube, you can find her. It's under altered paper. Okay, everybody ready? Jonna said to put it in a spray bottle, so here we go. I got a Derwent mini mister here. Well, it's not a mini mister, excuse me. It's a Derwent mix mister. Oh, I just sprayed it on my hand. So some people, if you're, word to the wise, if you are sensitive to any type of smell, like I said, it's non-toxic, but it is, it's strong. You might want to do this outside. Yeah, Eileen. Citrasolv, yeah. So Jonna said put in a sprayer, so I put some in here. Now I might get really high. No, just kidding. So let's just spray it over a stencil and leave that to the side and see what happens. That's what tonight's all about. A little bit of playing. Whew! Wow, strong in a sprayer, that's for sure. But what I didn't show was that it really did just work. You just didn't see it because I removed it. But it was really working well. Well, I just want to try it again. I just want to try it spraying through a stencil, and you know, if I was saturating pages, absolutely I'd put it in a bigger bottle, a bigger spray bottle, or else we'd be here till forever. I think this will work easily, but you have to put a lot of effort into that, to rubbing it off it through a stencil. Like I'd have to have my camera shake forever. Maybe not forever, but it does work. Sorry, this is in my there's a big like on this image. But I think I'll like it better once, you know, if the pages or when the pages activate, then when the pages activate, then you know, wipe it with a stencil, and I think it'll be a little bit better. Turned out cool though. We'll see what happens when that dries. It is oil, so the pages do sink in. The pages do sink in. The product does sink through the pages. Let's take a peeky peek at my other one. I'm gonna put the lid on this. And there's no timestamp, and I'm all lost in the sauce over here. Trying to read chat and stream at the same time. Let's just take a quick peek. See? Nothing. Oh! Oh! Who sees that? I think that the National Geographic that I was using before, I don't know, it just didn't, maybe it was so old, like maybe it was kept in a house that there, you know, wasn't preserved as much as some other ones. Oh, this is going to work really well. There is a lot of ink coming off of that. See that? We're starting. Is my autofocus on? Did I just go blurry? Or can you see where it's starting or no? Okay, so it's definitely going to work in there. Move this stencil up a bit. Oh, this page is... So I definitely, two things. I used a different decade of magazine as well as used a whole lot more. Whole lot more. So when I put the Citrasolv on, have very dark pages. So we shall see. Doesn't work on the words, only on the pictures. One thing that lady, she would go through the pages afterwards when it started to go and try to wipe it out. You know, so you can wipe out the words and stuff once the stuff is already on. So for example, now if I went back through my stencil, it'd be much easier. Do you see that little guy? It'd be much easier to go through it, I think. It's gonna be cool. Look at that. Oh, now I'm happy. I just think the other one wasn't glossy enough. Like it just, maybe it got wet, or I don't know. I bought it at, you know, Goodwill or something like that. It wasn't one of mine or anything. Okay, so it's gonna get a little bit messy when those real dark pages. So I'm kind of squeezing it out. See how it's squeezing out here? And I'm just gonna wipe it up a little bit. It's already resisting over there. All right, now I'm happy. Now I'm excited, my friends. Well, more excited than I already was. See, I'm not gonna put anything on this page. I think Erica's right. I just need a little sip, guys, and then we're gonna add a little bit more on here. Like I said, it took me a long time to try this technique, so I'm gonna spray what is left in this little guy. I really, really do like the Derwent misters. So if you can't, you know, they are a little bit bigger than the Tim Holtz mini mister, or the Ranger mini misters, I should say. But they really, really do work well. Whew! You make it high, making this airborne. It's non-toxic. It's just smelly. I'm excited about this. It's always fun to try I mean, I pride myself. I really try to take old techniques and make them, you know, switch them up a bit and make them new. But sometimes trying something brand new is awesome. What is Eileen saying? Melted wax on it. Oh, well, you know, that's because anybody that lives in Florida, Arizona, California, they get all the good classes. They always get, or it seems to be there's more stores there, I should say. More awesome stores. We don't have any around here anymore. Okay, that's empty. There is a bigger bottle of this, and you know me, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna buy the small one because who knows, maybe. But now I know where I can get it. One tip I really did like from that one girl, oh, my mom just messaged me. She just said, God love her, you'll have to explain to me what a blog is. What I'm looking for is a plain sheet. One of the things that the lady said on the video was that, again, this is a video from Cheap Joe's, that if you have a dark page like this, if you put on a lighter page, then some of that dark ink, if you put in a lighter page in between, then some of the dark ink will go on the light page. Let's try that. I missed what Jen said. I guess that's probably a good thing. So I'm just going to put on the pictures over here. See what happens. What are these gorillas going to turn out to be? Oh yeah. My mom just got the exact same phone as me, or upgraded to the new Samsung that I have. Almost done. I was wondering though, because it's, you know, it's like alcohol ink. They say that some of this already had some on there. They say that you're not supposed to take a heat gun to it, but will it like self-combust if I did that, do you think? Any of my friends that have taken classes where they've had experience with this, have you tried a heat gun? Boy, this is one messy. So if you don't like mess, this is maybe not the technical project for you. Why would I like that? Oh, Linda, that's good. Okay. I think it's important too is once they... Oh, look at that, my friends. Now I'm excited. Ooh, I can hardly take it. And then you can, you know how I like to put pages together when they have paint or gesso on it? I do the same thing with that and make some coolio stuff. Well, this, I will say one thing. This magazine, even though it was only a few years later from, you know, the one that I used yesterday, or the day before, whenever I did that, this is way more glossy. It was like, oh, look what happened with the stencil. This is one of my favorite stencils from Julie Faye Van Balzer, the pomegranate. Let's put it, oh, I don't want to, now it's not dry. That's just going to mess it back up again. Oh, no. Oh, well. We shall try again. Put it down here. I'm happy. I was already over the moon earlier, and now I'm just even more happy. And it's not the Citrasolv fumes. I promise. Yet. So spraying it, see what's happening? Let me put this over closer. Yeah, it only did a little bit, because that's a very fine mist. So I'm going to put a little bit of drops. Yeah, exactly. Hand marbled paper, exactly. Love it. So many cool things. But this girl, if you have to go to Cheap Joe's, look for altered paper. I think go to the playlists, look for altered paper, because not only does she show you how to do this stuff, or her way of doing it, but she also shows in other, because it's a playlist, in other videos she shows how she decorates them in different ways. So some of these pages are really, I want to try to get them straight. Okay, I'm just gonna work this out, I think, a little bit. In one of them, she makes like you know, a girl, a painted girl that was really cool. There's just wrinkled edge papers everywhere. Hey, Trouty. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit. Whew, that is some strong stuff. Alright, then I'm gonna sit that up there. Oh, did I just move my camera? Sorry about that. Did anyone ask about, or did anyone respond about the heat gun? Will I blow up the place if I use it? Asphalt. Tar. You having trouble to get the paint to stay on the Citrasolv, like once the paper's been put Citrasolv on it? I don't need this chat thing. Oh yeah. Well, this, like I said, this lady, she said to, and I'm so unprofessional not knowing her name. This was impromptu though, but she said, like, throw it outside, let it dry. Yeah, lay it out. So let's look at the one that was already. So I just sprayed this. Yeah, it didn't turn out so well. I don't think there was anywhere near enough. I mean, it worked a little bit, but there wasn't enough. That spray, I think, is a too fine of a mist. But I am going to stick this somewhere back in here. Put it in here. A heat gun with Citrasolv? That's where I bought it. If she does it. If she's willing to do that and not burn down her store, then should be good. You were talking old people, All right, let me get a baby wipe and clean up my hands a little bit, and then we'll do something a bit different until that dries a little bit. Look at my hands from the ink, and I barely touched it. So I'm gonna let that sit for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna, you know, fold the pages and manipulate them a little bit. Um, gonna manipulate them a little bit to try to get some different textures. Okay, so I before you came. Oh, I am recording, but I did want to show you some of the drawings I did uh, of my in the past couple days. One of them is a heat gun. I promise it's a heat gun. It even says heat gun. You'll recognize it as a heat gun. Read the label. Well, the label says no spark, right? So it's like alcohol inks. Is, you know, a heat gun doesn't really have a spark, but it can get super hot if you leave it in one spot at from one time. So anyway, still doing my drawings. So you guys didn't see this one a while ago. I just had to have this Starbucks mug. I don't know if anybody else has it. The Band of Brothers, and it's actually, you know, I'm still learning about shading, so I didn't shade or color any of that in, but it's actually black on the rim. It looks like black paint dripped down the Starbucks mug. And I saw this on Instagram. The Swedish chef. And so if you read this, it says crappy drawing and crappy highlighter. So Bic came out with and I love Bic pens. There's something called a bright liner, and it's supposed to be a dry highlighter, like a tape runner, like you know, the corrective tape runner, but it's a highlighter. I thought I'll give that a try. Yeah, that doesn't work very well. Junk. Don't buy that. And then a hand. So this is the very first time I attempted sketching Jean's hand, and then the other day, and then this is the hand that, whoa, sorry, I can't get close enough. So I tried to do that, which it didn't turn out too bad other than when I messed up the finger. And that's what's challenging, is that, you know, I could have just erased the whole thing or kept erasing it, but and then I took a note about what I did wrong and what I need to do better going forward. So that's what I'm trying to do. This was the other day. I did draw some feet. I don't know if I showed that. Jean's recording some scissors in my 501 bars. And so this is what I did yesterday. I'll turn it this way so you can see. Heat gun. Looks like a heat gun, right? And then I tried to draw the tiny attacher. Well, that was frustrating me. I just wrote that was uncomfortable. And I don't know if it was because I was using a different pen. I used a Papermate Flare. It's kind of like a pen marker. It's not as fine of a tip as the Sharpie pen. So that was a little bit uncomfortable doing that one. Even this one was a little bit uncomfortable, but that's what it's all about, is for me anyways, is trying to grow. So those are my drawings today. So I want to go back and work on a couple pages in here. If we recap, the other day we did this one. I didn't do anything else to it since, probably because I like it so much, and I know I have to, maybe I'll make the letters thicker, I don't know, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. And then a couple days ago we did, not that one, this one. And again, I haven't done anything with that either. I thought about, nobody wants to see detail work, but I think I'm going to do some darker colors inside the letters or something, maybe blue. So just before we started here, I was chatting, and I did have a page around here somewhere. Oh, I did make a hot mess over here, covering up some stuff. So I need to work through the uglies on that page, as well as this page. But there was a different one that I just put some paint on before I turned the camera on. Where did it go? What the devil is going on here? Did it stick? Oh, you know what? I bet it stuck because I didn't. It's one of these ones where I didn't. Probably didn't let it dry, and so now it's probably stuck to another page. I have no idea where it went. Well, I mean, you guys saw me put some paint on it, right? Like, I'm not, like, losing it. I know I did. Oh, it must be stuck. This one's already gessoed, so let's go back to this. So I thought, I really like this stencil, and I saw it yesterday or the last time I streamed, so I'm gonna use it tonight. I'm gonna put it right like in the middle. Right in the middle like that. This is a Julie Faye Van Balzer stencil from Crafter's Workshop called, of course I rip it off right where it says Celtic Circle. So what do I want to do? I already have gesso down on this. Or did somebody want to see something else? Hey Jess. You knew it was a tiny attacher? Oh, thanks Jane. Thanks everybody. It does look like a heat gun. I was a little worried. Yeah, it's been a good times on chat today, that's for sure. Excuse me, my protein bar. Hi Colleen. See Colleen. I didn't see. Oh, I hate this. I think we all need to send hate. I mean, they must just be getting, it must not just be us though, right? Like, oh, you're just must have seen it. Oh. I mean, they must just be getting a million emails. Here's my comment set. I got 2 open, not used, and then I couldn't bear to open the rest. Isn't that so silly? That's like ridiculously silly. Ridiculously silly. But I did, there's Bella barking away again. I did fill my, where did they go? Excuse me for a second. Bella? No bark. I did fill out the koi ones. If I were going to do any watercoloring, I would have to get fresh water and all that junk. I don't know where I put that either, so there goes that idea. There goes that idea. So I mentioned on Joyce's stream, Caleb. Oh yeah, Caleb, your son's name is Caleb. For a second there, I thought you were talking about Big Brother. Sorry. Of this set, Jeannie? I threw out the. Isn't this the same one as you have, Jess, too? This one has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 colors. They have lots, though, of different sets that have whatever. But this is called it's Cotman by Winsor and Newton. Cotman watercolors, Cotman by Winsor and Newton. But they have lots of sets. I saw, because they're from the UK. Some of the UK ladies, they'll have this ginormous set, like, I don't know, like 48 colors or something crazy. But I'm still learning, so they say that you really should only use like 3 colors. But while we're waiting for that, I think I'm going to add some layers on here. Okay, here's where I'm going to start. Let's see, make a hot mess. I'm going to try some dilutions. So if you didn't see my stream the other day, I'm really impressed with Dilutions White and how well it works. Really impressed. They are tiny. They're half pans. Cotman, they do have, maybe Jess knows or not, but I know Winsor Newton's, there's something called half pans and full pans. I'm not the expert on watercolor, but I know from that you can, because they're refillable, right? You can take all the pans out and put a full pan in there rather than having, right? They're refillable. Afterwards you just buy these little guys, or you can buy the full pans rather than having the half pan. So you could put 7 full pans or any combination of there were. Yeah, I mean that's what they all say. The higher quality, the better. But let's see. So I'm gonna use some dilution spray. This is bubblegum pink, I think. Yeah. Oh, uh-oh, it's clogged. I'm not gonna look at it. That's bad news. That's what happens when you don't use your stuff very often. This may explode. Oh! I knew that was gonna happen too. I've done that before. That wasn't very smart. What the devil? I'm gonna have to clean that one? Ah. It's gonna be, what, glimmer mist all over again? This one works. Guess they don't want me to use pink. Well, which other color? This will go to red. Cherry pie. This was a gessoed page beforehand, and I do have a ginormous, I know they make them bigger, but I do have a 12 by 14, 11 by 14, excuse me, mixed media journal that if I'm using 12 by 12 stencils, then that's where I stick those. I stick them in my journal to get the big journal to get all the ink off. Now, it's bad news. Bad news. Oh, look at that. That means, I don't know if you can see that, but obviously there was no gesso on that one. No. So I'm going to dry this. Oh my goodness, it's spray everywhere than where it's supposed to go. He gun. Mine, I think the one I paid was 40 Canadian, about that. Maybe a little bit less because they bought it at Above Ground, which is downtown Toronto. So if you remember why I'm doing this, I'm not going to work on this page today. If you remember, I did a stream a while ago that, with the black gesso and all of that. I'm gonna I'm gonna use that for that. Well, maybe not. Let's put some yellow on it. We were talking about brayers earlier. I don't know if I can find my Fiskars brayer at this second. Is this one's Speedball? So apparently Jonna really doesn't like anything Speedball. That doesn't squeak. Sorry, I'm reaching over, guys. One thing I haven't found in my cleanup yet is my stamp carving tools. Nor do I know where my other brayers are. I wanted to show Jonna how squeaky the Ranger one is. Oh, what's this one? This is a hard one made from the art store. This isn't a rub. It has a little give. Hey, Jonathan, has a little give. But did you see my drawings? I'm drawing. Can you believe it? Yeah, this one is more hard brayer than that one. How many brayers does one need? Anyways, somewhere I have the Fiskars one, and it actually has, I don't know if they make them anymore. They had this separate, I didn't say separate, they had lots of different attachments to it. Different brayer attachments. And I know people, I think it was Julie Faye Van Balzer. I've seen people carve the brayers, those extra attachments that Fiskars has, and to make their own patterns. So I'm going to use some craft paint on this. And of course, because I use dilutions, the craft paint's going to come through. Oh, it also works with, don't get me wrong, it also works with acrylic paint as well. But I'm not going into any, sites like you used to do your daily drawings. Only what's around me, like heat guns and Fiber One boxes. So I'm gonna use this Speedball one. I do like Speedball. Now this is the one I use for jelly plating all the time, and I don't clean it, which is absolutely terrible. I know. As Dee would say, don't email me. I'm gonna use some Americana Neon Yellow, see what happens. There's just so many different kinds for linoleum printing. Obviously have not used this before. It's not open. Hopefully you are well, Jonathan. I'm gonna make a huge effort to show up at your stream tomorrow. Hopefully you still stream on Thursdays, do you not? Or you stream today? What date is, if I'm approaching, oh my goodness, I can't, it's so terrible, I can't remember. I've been gone too long. There's no more safety for me, my friend. Alright. So this could go utterly wrong because I could be transferring the ink up and down, but or the paint is going to make the ink transfer the way I brayer. Now, this is was it even Americana? Yeah, Americana Neon, and it's really thick. I probably should have shaken it a bit more. Shaken it. Oh my goodness, when you spend lots of time with a 3-year-old, I find my grammar and vocabulary is going downhill. All right. Thursday, it was Thursday. That's what I thought for sure. I am going to be there. I'm just going to let that dry, see what happens. It's going to be a hot mess. Can work through it. I don't know. Let's go back to our Citrasolv, see what's happening. Oh, I keep it fun. I have to show Blade. I have to show Jonathan real quick. I keep it fun. I try to keep it fun. I know my drawings. So if anyone remembers, nobody seemed to know. Anyone watch Romeo? I'm gonna put this upside down. Sorry, Romeo and Juliet. Anyone? That's my favorite part of Romeo and Juliet. The flamingo. And it reminded me because Joyce was like, drive. And that's exactly what the flamingo from Romeo and Juliet would do. Made me laugh. Alright, back to this. Oh boy. So that was a big wrinkle in the page. But look what happened. So what I'm trying to do here is just separate the pages a little bit and get some more texture going. Bye Charlie, have a good night or day. Oh, I'm all confused. I'm ass backwards over here. When you're unemployed, sometimes it's hard to remember what day of the week it is. What's really going down. Oh, I'm so happy with this. Let me tell you. Oh, look what happened here. I don't know how or what I did with that, but that's cool. So we're getting some cool stuff going on with this. And you can apparently let it completely dry. While it's closed is what I'm trying to say. And then it also gives a different effect. Yeah, I am happy. So I just want to make sure that everything is going okay. And maybe I'll have to stream tomorrow. That does not look like a head. I'll have to stream tomorrow when they're dry. I'm going to throw it outside. I'm sure it'll make, it's not going to attract any bugs. I am happy. What coolness. And then tomorrow we can do some other altering of stuff and see what happens. Alright, so far so good on this bad boy. Oh, I just love it. Okay. We're just going to leave that alone. Let's do its magic now, and we'll come back to it tomorrow. Wednesday at 7:30. That's exactly what time it is here. Okay, I'm going to heat. That stuff is... There's that fly again. Hold on. It's on my wet art journal page. I don't need any fly emerald. Oh. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's rescue this hot mess. Heat gun. Get my catalyst. I have it, but that I actually oh man, that makes me laugh. I actually tried to hit it with this, but it didn't work out so well. That fly is bigger. Sorry, was it? Oh, he's making fun of me. I know it's been a while. I forgot that. You know what, Blade? Yesterday I did a stream. Was it yesterday, Carrie? And she said I said hard body paints, and I didn't even do it on purpose, like as a joke. She says it's on there at like 1 hour and 18 minutes, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Still saying hard body paints. Oh boy. Yep, you gotta have the Titan Buff hard body paint. Of course. Sorry, a little bit more. It's gotta be fully dry. I can't upload this to YouTube because I'll get comments about. I would get crazy comments about the fly. Let's just say that. Okay, so we got red, yellow. What's a good complementary color? Oh, you know what else I bought today? Because I'm going back old school. I'm teaching myself, the basics, the fundamentals of art, which for I like I said before, I didn't take art in high school or anything. I took ceramics and color matching, or everything I've always done just has come naturally. I'm like, yeah, red looks good with green. Of course, you know what I mean? Like, but I didn't know why. So let's get out my fancy dancy little color wheel thing here. So we got some yellow, purple. It's telling me purple. How about we can do some purple? Yellow, orange, blue, violet. Explain the Titan buff to who? Oh, sorry. We're not being rude, my friends. It's just there are some of us, and you'll see when I do the tag video that I'm going to tag Blade, because when I first started watching YouTube videos and stuff, the first people I saw was Les Herger, and the first person I watched stream, that was back when Les was streaming, and Blade. I mean, how many years ago was that now? 5? I can't remember. So some of these old jokes, I apologize for people that are new. These jokes have been around for a while, but they're the ones that are sometimes they're just so funny that you can't let go of. Okay, almost have it. Confident Color by North by Nita Neiman. Confident Color, I'm gonna write that down, please. I've just watched like a YouTube series of values and shading, and so I'm practicing all those. I'm going back to basics. And so this is Titan Buff. Oh, let me put my autofocus on so you can see. So Titan Buff is spelled Titan Buff. It's a creamish color. It is cream. But sometimes we say it so fast that it sounds like tight and buff, which is one of my goals. So it fits. Good night, Trody. Just started season 6, so see, there you go. Like, I met some wonderful friends from Blade's stream. Like, this is, it's Melissa. If Melissa, Cosmix Media Girls, watching, we love you. Les, Evelyn, all those. Okay, so that is dry. So, oh, it's not dry. Sorry, you got it. My paint's bubbling right there. It's got so hot. So we said we're gonna use purple. That may not be the right color of purple. I've got 2 colors of purple. Make it sound like I only have 2 colors of purple. Well, we'll just use this one. See how it goes. One more second. Our friend Lisa from Artist Seller stopped by yesterday, and she reminded me, or reminded myself, of the map stencils that she has. And I want to use one, if I can find one. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, so there's a map series. One is Paris, London. Don't ask me which is which. I'm not that good with geography. Did you hear my stomach growl? I am sorry. But actually, that's not true. I'm being indecisive. I apologize. Another reason why I need to practice. I'm going to mix it with this stencil. Earwigs. Oh my goodness. Oh. Earwigs, I'm just going to take a sip of my drink here. Earwigs are absolutely the worst. Alright, so I'm going to use some basics Brilliant Purple. And I'm going to do the same technique we did yesterday with putting it on and wiping it off. I want to primarily see how it's going to react with the ink. Obviously not much left in this tube. Well, maybe not capitalized. There's a fly. Oh my goodness. Guys, if I sound, I swear I'm not high on Citrasolv. I just got some good news today. Alright, right away, I'm not sure if that's going to be a dark enough purple. Let's add some blue to it. I'm just really happy. I got some good news. But I am pretty giddy. Maybe I am high. Maybe. Maybe I should stop the recording at this point. This is worse than the time that we were drinking rum and cokes. It was a long time ago. Oh my goodness. Maybe I am. Maybe this Citrasolv is affecting me. I'm crying over here. Okay, let's get back to business. This is so unprofessional. Oh, so I'm mixing some blue and purple together. So remember, I'm covering over this whole thing, but we're going to wipe it off a little bit later, so don't everybody get all worked up. I need a paper towel to wipe my eyes over here. Oh, new technique, tears. Tears. Oh. I don't remember what I'm laughing at now. Oh boy. Please tell me that somebody else has got high off of Citrasolv. Oh. I just feel really giddy. I don't know. Okay, I gotta laugh and I gotta stop. You know what this feels like? I feel like I'm Joyceage. Oh. Alright. This time, I know last time we covered the whole page. This time I'm gonna leave the corner over here open. Alright, there's a lot of paint left over. No. Oh boy. Sure, it's Citrasolv. Oh boy, this could be. I need to put a disclaimer on this video. That's for sure. I'm gonna lay this big stencil down. So that's a lot of paint and a big stencil, so I think I'm gonna need a lot of baby wipes. Oh. Anti-slipping guard. Am I not supposed to be a safety? I can't even open the window. I'm just giggly, that's all. Oh boy. I have to figure out, because did I sound like this when I started? Was I this? I know I was so giddy because I had some happy news, but was I this bad when I started? So I put out, that was a thick coat of paint on that, so I've got to make sure that I'm not transferring it underneath the stencil, so I'm doing a little twist, rub and twist technique. I need to stop the recording. You guys think I should stop the recording? Because this may get out of hand. Oh my goodness. See, for a good time, all you need is a little Citrasolv, National Geographic. Oh boy. And I'm just doing the twist part because I put such a thick layer of paint and I don't want to push it under the stencil. And because the paint is extremely wet still, that I don't need to rub as hard as I normally do. Oh boy. You guys have made me laugh so many times the past few days. Poor Simon, he kept saying, what's so funny? What are you laughing at? What's so funny? Okay. So we can take a peek. It's very, let's put it a little closer here. So I didn't wipe it completely off. You can see that there's still some areas of paint within the stencil. Whew! Now I'll clean it up a tiny bit. You know what? I didn't even really know it was a secret. I guess I should have asked. Anyways, I feel very happy and blessed, that's for sure. Especially after a hiatus. And I worked out today. So that was a positive. Just a little bit more, you know, like, and then I can clean it up. Whoa. Oh, I like it. Look at that. Oh. If anyone's new, I apologize. Usually I'm more professional than this. I like it. But also, we like to have good times and good laughs. So I don't like the way that is there, right? I gotta blend it in, so I'll get a little paper towel there. Oh. Oh, I like that a lot. So that was a mix of the blue and the purple, but I have a lot of, I'm going to put this to the side for a second because there's so much, oh, I see the fly. I don't think I got him. So Joyce likes this page with all the greens, but, you know, some. Oh my goodness. My nose is still running. So I have lots of paint. I'm just gonna stickle some stencil stuff on there. Hopefully, did I lose anybody? Oh boy. So that didn't work well because I had some dried paint on the sponge. So I'm just going to cut that piece off. Yeah, today's, if you want to be in on the napkin swap that Carrie is hosting, please email her. Send her a message. It's the last day today. I'm in. I got lots of packages of napkins that I would like to share. There's also a zine swap that our wonderful friend Lucy Jane is hosting that we would love you. I'm in that one too. I'm excited. It's going to be hand drawn. That's why I'm practicing. That swap is about your daily life, so I got to start practicing some pug drawings real quick. I'm naming my zine Pug Life. Thanks for stopping in, Jonathan. See you tomorrow. I'll be there. So that paint was too wet. That didn't go so well. Oh my goodness. That was a good laugh. That was a giggle fit extraordinaire. Oh. Just try to find another page. Ooh, look at this one. This one has lots of yellows and oranges in it. It already has a little bit of green there. So let's scrape some paint onto that and see what happens. The pug life chose me. I saw my favorite pug, not my favorite pug, obviously. One of my favorite pugs on my walk this morning, and I was too scared to ask the owner. It's a pug husky mix. So the husky, it looks exactly like a pug, the body of a pug, the face of a pug, but the coloring, the same fur as a pug, the short fur, but only the coloring of a husky. You know, with the white and around his eye. It is, oh, he is just so gorgeous. But I want to ask the owner, I'm like, can I please take a picture of him so I can try to draw him later? I love him. Is that weird? If somebody came up to you and asked to take a picture of your dog, would that be weird to you? I don't know if I should do it or not. But he's such a... And I'm just kind of stamping. I don't know why, but lately I've been using my scraper card, rather than scraping. I've just kind of been stamping it onto the page and kind of get some texture there. Alright, just to check. And I put way too much paint on there, obviously, because I thought I was only going to do purple. And then I added the blue. So I just have to, this is my desk journal, I just have to find a page. See, this is what happens when I use Sharpie paint pens. I don't know why. Every time. I've bought more than one. Just trying to find something to put this leftover paint on. I'm probably thinking about it too much. I'll just add it to this. These are the type of journals that I try things in. I don't think about it. I just, slap paint down, see what happens from there. And I think I just Sorry guys, I just don't like to waste paint. That's why I usually have a bunch of journals around me. Let's see, one last one. Been working on that one. Yeah, I want to do that. I drew a face on here. I hate it. Again, because I'm trying to draw a face, somebody else's face, or a face that somebody else sees, not a face that I see. That's what I'm trying to practice. Looking at a picture or a person and drawing what I see. Well, I don't know if that's going to work through the colorings, but I'll work that out later. We shall go back. Hey, CB. The black one, but not the white one. Some people have such amazing success with it, and I don't know if it's because they're living in a warmer climate. No, can't be. That would make sense, because I know people that don't, that use them quite well. I don't know. I must be doing something wrong. These streams still testing. Hey, Judy. Hopefully I said hi to everybody. I can't see the who's in chat anymore unless I actually come over here and move it. Oh, Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. Miss Press. Candy Cello. Alright. So, as a recap, we did some work in a Citrasolv and National Geographics, and I got high, and we started this. So I'm really liking I really like the colors of how that one's going so far. But I just want to do a quick stream. It's been just over an hour now. Simon just made me some dinner. And maybe I'll come back a bit later. Maybe not. Maybe I'm too bad, but I'm just going to stop recording.